Hello everyone, welcome. It is March 30th. I am here to give you both a stitching update as well as a surgery update. One day after surgery, which is great. So first let's start with the stitching. I started working on my Kringles yesterday. I don't have any more prompts to meet until tomorrow. We'll have a new challenge that's published tomorrow. So since I had finished all my prompts and all my acrostics, I decided to go back to my annual goal of working on my Kringles and trying to get it finished by the end of the year. And remember, I had divided it up into sections, and if I could stay on track with those sections, I could finish by the end of the year. So when I got ready to pick this up, I had the first room completed, and I had started on the brick. I had several of the columns of brick done. I think I had 3 of the 4 done. And I had started on the banner underneath that first row of windows, but I didn't have it completed. So I'm excited to share with you that in 2 days' time, I have put in, goodness, over 1,600 stitches. I've been stitching a lot. I'm not able to do any housework or yard work or anything like that, so I can't do any chores. So I've basically been stitching all day long, which has been great, and all evening, I did cook a couple of times, but my husband's been very gracious and gotten us something to eat, so I don't have to risk, splashing anything in my eye, popping anything on my face or whatever. So I've been stitching a lot, so let me show it to you. Here's Kringles, where we are now. I finished the room for March, and I have finished the banner across the bottom and all of the walls. And so now when I pick this up in April, which is only 2 days, is that right? We got what, the 31st, and then it's April 1st. Yeah. So in 2 days' time, I could pick it back up again if I wanted to. I'm gonna wait and see if I can make it a prompt for my challenge this month, this first one that's coming out. And if I can, it would be easy enough to stitch in this room right here. The next thing that would happen is that I would start the brick again, going here across and down, all the way. And if I can get this room finished, since I've already done the banner underneath it, I would probably try to get the brick done for the next room, just to give myself, keep myself going forward with it. But I really, really am enjoying it. I really am. It's just been a fun stitch. So my friend Glow today, we were talking, she made me a bet. She bet that I'd have that framed and on the wall this Christmas. I don't know. That would be really hard. But I'm certainly on track. I'm on track to finish it by the end of the year, which is great. So I'm going to go watch a new TV series, or it's actually on Netflix, I think, called The Night Agent. My husband and I have been watching it. I think we're on about episode 5 or 6. We're watching one every night. We're making ourselves only watch one every night because we actually would like to watch more. So that would be awesome. I'll give you a quick update on how I'm doing. Surgery was the 29th, so that was yesterday. It went great. It still only took about 2 hours. Each experience is different. This time, the nurse who did my IV was not as gentle or skilled as the first nurse. I'm not sure what happened. I know they flip-flop around, alternate who does what, and unfortunately for me, she was not as good at sticking an IV as the first one was, and I kind of wish I had known that. Had I known it, I could have requested that they swap, but she did it. She got it in. It was just uncomfortable. and I hate IVs anyway. I hate needles. I'm very fearful of needles. And so that was unfortunate for me because it shot my blood pressure up. But I got it right back down. I mean, they just let me rest and take a few deep breaths and get past that and calm down about it, and my blood pressure was fine. But it sure shot up when I was going through it. Everything else went great. This time, interestingly enough, I was not as sedated, I think, as the first time because I remember a lot more. None of it was uncomfortable, none of it hurt. Everything was numbed up and all that stuff. So it wasn't anything that was painful. It was just a little bit surprising, that you can feel them moving your lens around in your eye and twisting and turning it and stuff. It sounds really odd, and I hope it doesn't gross you out. But the bottom line is, it was a very comfortable procedure. It went great. And when they were finished, when I got through in recovery, they walk you next door and they check the pressure and they check your vision to see how well it is. And even though they dilated my eyes this time, it cleared up a lot quicker. I don't know whether it just didn't dilate as much or what, but when the ophthalmologist put the letters up on the wall for me to try to read them, I could read them all. It was amazing, clear as a bell. I got home and took a nap. I slept for several hours. So I obviously had anesthesia still in my system. But when I woke up, I came upstairs and I stitched. I could see beautifully out of both eyes, not just the one that was 2 weeks ago, but the one that was that day. I was seeing beautifully already. It was amazing. So I've had a great experience. Now, in case you can tell, if you look really close, you probably can. I have a blood vessel right on the corner of my eye that ruptured during the surgery. Very common, very, very common. And so they said it would take a little while for it to clear up. So it just looks like I've got a bloodshot eye really bad right in the corner. Anyway, you can see it. But that's it. I mean, that's great. So I'm thrilled. I think it's gone very well. I want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your positive thoughts, your well wishes for my surgery and for my speedy recovery. I'm just blown away at how well this went. I'm just thrilled. I couldn't be happier. So that's an update from there. As I said, I'm going to go watch that TV episode or Netflix special with my hubby. We're going to go watch The Night Agent, and if you haven't watched it on Netflix, you need to go find it and binge watch it because it's great. I'm loving it. And then I will probably go to bed early, and early for me because my husband has a really early morning tomorrow. And so I want to be able to get up and send him off. He's having a medical test, and it's something he just wanted to make sure everything was copacetic and he's not having any bad symptoms or anything. But due to family history, he's trying to make sure he is not going to have the similar problems that his father had with his health. And so he's having a nuclear stress test tomorrow. And so he gets to run tomorrow, but not in his usual way. Anyway, I just want to be able to send him off well, get up and encourage him and send him off in a positive manner. And then other than that, I'll be stitching. Looking forward to that. I will see what my prompts are tomorrow in the new challenge in the Daily 30 group. And hopefully we'll see what my acrostic for 24 hours of cross stitch will be. And I already have the monthly magazine challenge. I was talking with Lori. Once Upon a Stitch is her channel. You ought to go check her out if you're not already a subscriber. We were talking about the monthly magazine acrostic for April, and we were comparing, what we were going to stitch for each one of those while we were talking this past week. And so that was a lot of fun. And she's a planner like I am, and so that was fun that we were able to do that and help each other out with maybe some suggestions for the V, some hard letters that you have. So if we get the 24 hours of cross stitch one, maybe she and I can talk about it next. Talk about what we're gonna do. But I hope you're having a good time with your stitching. I hope if you're planning something that you enjoy that. And if you just like to, swee-wee, stitch what you want when you want, that's great too. I hope you're enjoying it, whatever you're working on. But I will be able to share more about plans once I see what my challenge is going to be and what my acrostics will be. And then that'll give you a better idea of what I'm going to be stitching on in the coming few weeks. So in the meantime, everything you do it well, enjoy it. Life is short. Make it a pleasant one for yourself and your family and friends. And happy stitching. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is the 31st of March. Our month is at an end. I'm so excited. This is the final day of March, and then we will have April Fool's Day tomorrow. Now, don't let anybody fool you, okay? You be on alert. I decided today that I would go and check out the challenge that's issued in my Daily 30 group every Friday. And so I went in today, and the one that they issued today was called Baseball Week because of the opening of the baseball season. And I am going to try to hit 5 of those prompts, and one of them was to stitch on a whip that has either a fish or an animal. And that's tied in because of one of the baseball stadiums has a big fish tank in it. And so I think they were trying to be a little lenient so that if we didn't have a fish in anything we were working on in particular, they extended it to fish or animal. And I'm so glad they did, because I was able to pull out one that I haven't worked on in quite a while. And this is called Welcoming Christmas. And I pulled it out because, of course, it has animals in it. I went ahead and backstitched this tree first so that I could scroll up to get to the sheep, because I was toward the bottom of the sheep that I needed to do. I'd done the top half, but I hadn't done the bottom half. And so that's what I wanted to work on today once I finished backstitching that Christmas tree. So I rolled up my little tiny rod, and I started working on the sheep. And I color completed at least 2 of the colors. And I'm working on the 3rd one, and I got it all the way across to here. So the rest of those are the same color, and they come right down to here. And then I have to do the little sheep's legs, and I'll backstitch the sheep. So then one more stitching session on this ought to complete that sheep, which would be wonderful. You can really tell the difference here of what backstitching can do. When you see this one's not backstitched, this one is. That one really pops. You can really see those different shades in there a lot better because they're not blending in so much, like especially right here with the fabric. But I think the fabric is very complimentary of the piece, so that's a good thing. But I actually stitched 382 stitches in this today. I needed either 200 or 300 for my prompt, and so I went ahead and did the 300 because I really wanted to complete the whole body today. I wanted to go ahead and do this part too. However, there's another prompt that I can work on today. And I say can because today's the last day of the month. I don't want to work on a prompt that I need for my whip go for April. So some of my whip go calls I'm using for prompts in this thing, and I didn't want to stitch on them a day ahead. So I'm picking out prompts with pieces on them that I've identified that aren't on my 4 calls on my whip go board for today, since it's the last day of March. But that means I'm getting progress on some pieces that I haven't seen in a while. Sorry, it's blowing out. There you go. So that's the stitching for right now. I took Coco on a beautiful walk this morning. The weather is gorgeous. The sun was shining, but it was nice and cool. It wasn't cold, just cool. So you didn't get too hot when you were walking. It worked out really, really well. And so I took her out this morning while my husband was busy with an appointment. And now, after lunch, he has her at the park. So they're going to be playing for a couple of hours maybe. She'll have a wonderful day. I'm excited for her. She went to her groomers yesterday and got all of her hair cut off because trying to get her used to a more summer cut. And for the first time yesterday, they brought her home. When Tommy brought her home, she had pink bows in her hair up above her ears. They've never put bows in her hair before. They've always put a scarf around her neck, and she likes that because she's used to wearing a collar anyway, and she's kind of frou-frou. She likes having a pretty scarf, but she didn't like the bows. That was too girly, I guess. Anyway, they didn't make it out of the doctor's office. And then my husband hung on to them and he put them back in her hair just for her to walk in to see me, to see my reaction to it. And so I'm going to see if we can get it back in her hair one more time. And if we can, I'll try to grab a picture for you. And if I do, I'll put it at the end. So we'll see if I can grab it. I hope you're having the wonderful, most wonderful Friday, starting off your weekend. Hope it goes well for you. I don't think we have anywhere we have to go this weekend, so who knows? I may get a lot of stitching done. My husband told me today, almost in a note of panic in his voice, that his hike is only 2 weeks away, and I think it's dawning on him that he needs to start packing and getting ready. Getting ready for a 3-week hike is a lot of work, and so yesterday he went ahead. He has a new tent that he's purchased, and it is assembled, but it's put up a lot differently than the tents he's ever used before. And so he took it yesterday outside and he set it up to make sure he could do it well. And he told me he actually needs to set it up a time or two more because it's he's got to learn a little bit better how to position his walking poles. The tent actually is put up with your walking poles. It doesn't have poles of its own. And that's one of the reasons it's lighter. And then the fabric is a lot lighter, and it's supposed to be more waterproof for rain. So I'm excited for him, but I think he feels a little self-conscious in that he's not quick about putting it up. And so he will be practicing that before he goes. Oh, well, I think that's fun. I hope he has a great time. He's so looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to all the stitching I hope to get done, if Coco will allow. She does get a little bit clingy, when Dad's not here. And so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing. I hope you have a great weekend. And if I get any more stitching accomplished this weekend, I'll come back and share it with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It is April 1st. I hope you haven't been fooled today. My friends have been very kind and nobody's been pulling any practical jokes on me, which is nice. Today I decided to start working on my prompts for the month of April, and I had pulled out the acrostic for the monthly challenge in the Daily 30 group, and that acrostic is Easter eggs. So when I looked at all of my prompts for my acrostic for 24 Hours of Cross Stitch magazine, monthly acrostic, and the one in the Daily 30, I've got Spur of Moment, Shelves, and Easter eggs that I'm working on. So I took my acrostics, I listed them here and here, and I listed my whips that I'm using across the top. As you've seen this before, I check which one I'm using for each item. And as I can, anytime I can repeat in a different Facebook group, I do. And so the very first one on the list is casting a spell. And it's in here for 1, 2, and the S in the Daily 30 challenge. So that's 3 challenges for this one prompt. But because it's in my Daily 30 group, I gotta have 300 stitches. Can't do my usual 200. So today I pulled out Casting a Spell, and I had stitched 3 of these. So I decided today was the day to stitch the last one, which I did. I finished it. I started and finished it, so that's a SAF today. And then you'll notice I started on another one, which is the pillows right here. They're split. This starts the alphabet and it ends it right here. And so there's a split border and everything. Now they do show this put together in another picture, well, it's right here in the back, as a pillow, which I think is very lovely as well. And they've got this one together as a pillow, but it's 2 parts in the front when you're doing them in little pillows for the things. So these 4 are now complete, and I have started the border on that one because when I finished this one, I had 284 stitches. That wasn't quite enough. So I had to go on down and pick the next one I was gonna do, and I just started at the top of the box and said, I'll just start right there. And I did an extra 24 stitches, which took me to 313. So I got my prompt, all 3 of them, which is great. I'm excited about that. So I want to tell you a little bit about my plans for the month. I intend, if I can, to stitch all the acrostics. I am double and triple dipping in them whenever possible. I am going to continue working on my Kringles to try to get that last window on that first row for the month of April completed. That should be doable. I hope so anyway. And then, because I have it in my acrostics, I'm trying to work on the autumn bell pull. I would really like to finish that M if I can this month, because I still have N to do. But as long as I get it done by the end of the year, I'll be happy. So, but it's just so much stitching on that thing. I've also pulled out some additional whips that you haven't seen in a little while for some of my prompts because I want to work on them, which is good. So April's just going to be trying to hit these prompts and push my finishes that I want for the year a little bit further. I'm working really hard on I Am a Needlesmith to push it closer and closer to a finish. I think it'll be my next year of whips that I can get finished, because Autumn Bell Pull and Kringles are my last 2, and they may not make it till the very end of the year. So I'm trying to get I Am a Needlesmith finished. I already have the 3 that I have to qualify, but I'd really like to get all 6 if I can. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that's my prompts for today. I have been doing some reorganizing yesterday and today. Normally when I finish a prompt, I rush into trying to start on the next one, and I didn't yesterday. Instead, I rearranged an entire storage closet downstairs. I had an empty closet I wasn't using since our son moved out to his own place last year, and I decided to move my games, all my board games, and my seasonal decor that's not Christmas, because Christmas is so big it's down in the basement, to that closet. And that gave me a lot more room in the small closet that I have in my little office. So I have reorganized it for my wrapping stations. I've got boxes in there. I've got my wrapping paper and all the things, you know, in there, and it cleared up some shelf space. So I'm going to be looking up here in my craft room, and I'm going to be trying to find decorative items that I've got boxed up in storage up here, taking up my room up here, and I'm going to try to move them down there. And that way all of my decorative pieces are on the main floor, and I don't have to carry them up and down the stairs. I think that would be a good idea. So in the course of that, I started doing something new with my fabric. I heard this from someone else. This is not original to me. I saw this on a FlossTube channel, and they said they had stored their fabric where they could see it. and they had put it in plastic bags. Now, I don't know what kind of bags they used, but I went on Amazon, and these are the ones I found. They are a Ziploc bag with the handle attached. And so I spent a little time last night putting all of my fabric into these bags. And I put a card in them, if it didn't already have one on it, telling you the color, the count, and the size, you know, how many inches it is. And now what I can do, now that I have moved a bunch of stuff out of this storage closet over here, it was a traditional closet. It has the poles in it, the rods in it that you would have to hang your clothes on. So these are going to hang in there beautifully. And what that allows me to do now is to put everything in color families, my blues together, my purples together, you know, everything. I plan on doing that per count. So I want all my 28 counts together, my 32 count together, and if I have any 36 count, I think I only have one piece of that right now. And then, so the bulk of my fabric is 32 count. That's my sweet spot. That's what I like. So I will be putting that in there, which means I am rearranging that whole closet. My husband helped me today, and he carted down 3 boxes of storage, you know, stored items, one of which was the spring and summer. So I was so delighted to get it downstairs that I took some time today and I redid my mantle for Easter. And I'll shoot a picture of that and, of course, put it on here for you. But it's allowing me to take a moment, now that I've been in this house for a few years, this is our second Easter here, I think. I can, you know, figure out what am I using and what am I not using, what's working well for me and what isn't. And so I have a list of things that I want to do for the spring cleaning. I guess this is my spring cleaning. My mother used to always spring clean. And I will be reorganizing some drawers in my desk and in my storage cabinet over there. And so just kind of tidying things up and getting them a little better organized so that I can use them. So I'll keep you posted on that. And as I do the little tidying up or straightening up, if it's an idea I think you might enjoy seeing, I'll definitely share that with you. But what that means is I'm pretty much stitching for one prompt, whether it's meets 1, 2, or 3, but I'm stitching on one project. And as soon as I hit that prompt, enough stitches for that prompt, I will probably stop stitching for the day and go into reorganizing and straightening and cleaning, because, you know, that takes time. And for me, that'll be time away from stitching. But I would really like to get it done before my husband goes off on his hike, in case I need him to help me move things and lift things. I want to get that taken care of. And then when he's gone, it's just stitching. Coco and me stitching, which will be great. They're out playing with the ball right now, and then we're going to have dinner. But I just wanted to take a moment and tell you about my progress. I've got, you know, a good progress today on my casting a spell. I do have 6 more little things to make. I've made 4. There are 10 sections, and I've made 4. But I very well may go ahead and start looking to see what kind of a paint or stain that I want to get, because I've got my box, but it's natural. It's a natural wood, and I think it looks really nice with the black. I think that looks better. So I need to figure out what I'm going to put on that and take care of it. Well, that's my update for today. I hope you had a great Saturday. I got to meet a friend for lunch today who is an embroiderer. She does embroidery work. She's come to our stitching meetups before and working on embroidering a jacket or a pair of jeans for someone. And so she really wanted to hear about my trip to the retreat. She wanted to hear everything that we did. She wanted to see everything we got. And she doesn't watch my channel, so I took my little bag, my little project bag, and put all the goodies in it and took it to lunch today and told her we were going to have show and tell. So I will tell you, it was fun. It was so much fun to relive it all and share it with her new. And because she was interested, it wasn't like me trying to tell, you know, someone who's not a stitcher and could care less about it. That you can tell they're polite and they nod and say, "Oh, you sound like you had a good time," but they really aren't getting it. But she got it, and she was asking great questions, and it was just a fun little lunch. And my husband was doing a long run, so I had time to spend a little time with a friend, and that was delightful. I hope you'll take the opportunities to do that when you can. And I hope you have stitchers nearby. But if not, I hope you'll count me as one of your stitching friends and stitch while you watch. And we could stitch together that way. All right. Have a great weekend. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. I am here today to videotape just a small segment about an FFO. When we were in the beach house that we rented this summer, back in early March, first week of March, I think it was, I stitched a little small for a friend who had asked if I would stitch just a little something that she could put in her home that would remind her of me. And I was so flattered to be asked to do that. That I decided I would try to find something meaningful for her and me. So I stitched a portion of the sewing bee pattern, and it was a new start for my whip go, so it qualified that. But I did it because my friend loves flowers. Whenever she comes over to our house for any kind of big dinner, when we're having more than one couple over, she brings me flowers to put on the centerpiece. And many times they're out of her own garden, her little small garden. So what I did is I stitched that, just a small portion of that pattern with a wreath and then 2 flowers on the side and honeycomb down the other side. And I personalized it by putting her initials in it. So I kept thinking, do I want to make an ornament? Do I want to make a pillow? What do I want to do? Well, they have a small condo, so space in their home, is pretty much at a premium. And so I thought, well, I need to make her something that's functional as well. And for my part that would represent me, I love to put things in little boxes. I love little storage boxes. And so I put her piece in a little box, a little wooden box, and I put it in the top of the box, and I think it fits quite well. You can barely see the honeycomb on the side, but it makes everything curve all the way to the end. And I had to put the pillow in there, leaving just a little bit of room because the box closes up. Isn't that cute? So now let's see if I can open it with one hand. Oh, I can. Yay. So anyway, when it's open, it's already had a velvet lining in top and bottom, so it doesn't look unfinished even around the pillow. I ordered this box online a couple of years ago now for Christmas. I had ordered one for my sister Stephanie because her mom had commissioned me to shop for her for Christmas, and she wanted to get Stephanie a little box to put her rings in at night and that sort of thing. And when I got the box, I didn't like this little discolored portion here, so I ordered another one. But I kept it because I thought, it's just a little bit of stain that looks a little out of place, but it doesn't ruin the box. I could keep it and use it. So this was in my stash. I love the carving on it. I think flowers, how appropriate, right? They're on each side, and there's flowers on the top as well. So this is now an FFO for my friend. Now, CJ has started watching my channel on occasion. I don't ever know when she's watching it. She doesn't make comments, but then I'll see her and she'll tell me, I really liked what you said about something, something, something. So I can't put this up on my channel today, even though today is the 3rd of April. I can't put it in until I see my friend CJ and gift this to her. So as soon as I gift it to her, then I'll put it up on the next one. So it may be a little out of sequence, but you'll understand why. So there you have it, my FFO, a little storage box for my friend CJ. Hope you like it. And now I'll get back to my prompt stitching. I had started reorganizing part of my craft room this weekend, and I came across this box, and it was, you know, inspiration. It was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so today I went ahead and got it done so I can gift it to my friend. So thanks for letting me share that with you, and I hope you're having a great day of stitching or finishing, whatever you might be doing. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning. It's April 4th. Coco and I want to say good morning. Look, she's pulling at me. Hey, baby. Well, hey, good morning. She wants us to go eat breakfast. It's been an early morning for us. My sister's birthday is today, and so she and I had a birthday party online, and she opened her presents from me, and we talked about them and oohed and awed over them together, and so that has been great fun. And Coco's been over here quietly waiting and listening to all of that, and now it's time for her to go down and eat her breakfast. I have put it out for her, but she doesn't like to eat alone, so she's waiting on me to go down there. I just wanted to come in and show you my stitching. I started this yesterday, and I stitched probably 400 and something stitches. Let me look real quick. I've already turned the page for today. Yeah, 483 stitches on it yesterday, and I put it up for the prompt that I was working on, which was for 2 acrostics. So this is my Halloween Quaker. I'm using this for the O in Spur of Moment, which is the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic, and the O in Moment. I said this, I was going to do 1 motif, and then in my monthly magazine challenge, that one is for shelves, and I did it for the H in shelves for Halloween Quaker. So I didn't have a set number of stitches that I had to get, but since one of my prompts I said I was going to do 1 motif, I tried to finish this whole motif, and this is the one that I was working on. I had started it last time to get the number of stitches I needed, so I wanted to finish it this time. And I did finish it, but it took me the 2 days to get it done because here we are. I did the 3371, which is the dark color, all the way around and through the middle. I did that first, and I finished that last night, but it was getting late. It was about midnight when I went to bed, and I didn't get to start stitching until very late yesterday. So I hadn't done the pieces in the middle here. So this morning, after my call with my sister, I stitched these in, and that has been an additional 148 stitches in here. So all total, it's been over 500, probably around 600 stitches to do this motif. But I finished it now, and so it's still very early in the day, and I'm going to pull out something else to work on for another prompt today. So you may see me again later if I'm able to make it for another prompt. But I was really tickled to be able to finish the motif. And so I felt like that really met my goal that I had set for myself, which is awesome. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to talk very long because I want to get busy stitching on another motif if I can. And I will also share with you a new organizational project I did. I took my fabric and took it out of bins that I've been keeping it in, and I have put them in envelopes, and and this is what those envelopes look like. And this is my fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me this month. Is that not beautiful? That just is gorgeous. And the name of it is Ledger, Ledger, Ledger. And this is mine on Lugana. Lugana always takes the color lighter than linen or Ada, and I like a more subtle look. So not only do I like stitching on Lugana, but I enjoy the more subtle colors that it takes as well. So I'm going to go put this into my storage system that I've just redone, and I'll take you with me and I'll show it to you. Be right back. This is one of my storage closets that is in my sewing area, and it used to have boxes of seasonal decorations, and you can see there's still some picture frames down there that I've purchased at a resale shop. But this is the storage system that I was talking about. On the bottom are my empty bags there that I have yet to fill with future purchases, I guess. And here are the bags for my fabrics. So on the side there, just the 2 or 3 that are there, those are Ada. And then this row here, that's my 32 count. And I have everything in color families. So the greens are together, the tans are together, the oranges are together, the grays are together, and the whites are together. And so I have this new piece that's a blue kind of yellow combination. And so I'll go into my blue colors right here and see that this is sort of a blue and a green polka dot, like a bulk splash. That's a light blue. So what I'm going to do is come through here till I find about the shade of blue. There you go. There's a shade of blue, and I go from light to dark. That shade of blue is close to the one I have, so I'm going to put this right there to fit in with that color there. So this is how I'm storing my fabric now. So when I want to pull out a new project, I will come here and I'll go to the section of color I want to look at, and I'll just look at what color I have, and I'll decide how dark I want it, you know, what color do I want for this piece. Then I've got a card in each one that tells me the size. So, you know, there it is, 32 count, a 1/4 the yard. So I know it's a fat quarter, so I know how big that is. And I'll know whether or not my piece will fit on that piece of fabric. But I love this because I can see it. I can see every color of fabric that I have, and I can very quickly see what size it is. The rest of this closet right now, I'm not finished with it, but it is finishing objects. So I have little jars in here with a screw on top that I can cross stitch a cover for and put a gift inside. And then I've got a couple of these that I want to stitch something and put on there, and I've got some hoops for hoop finishes. I love boxes. I love to make these boxes have a pillow in the tops of them. You see I have 2 there for finishing something down the road. And then I've got picture frames in here, small picture frames. This I picked up at a antique mall because I think a long piece on that would be perfect. And look, it even turns around. So I could put one season on one side and another season on the other, or I could put magnets on it and be able to change things out. So that would be really cool. Really like that. So this has been part of a reorganization project that I've done. And up here I have trims for finishing. I'm trying to make this closet be my fabric for starting, and then all of my supplies as far as frames and hoops and finishing items in here, so that I can look at it from the time I start it and maybe get an idea of how I would like to finish it as we go. So thanks for letting me share that with you. I hope that it might have given you some ideas or inspiration. I have empty tubs there for finishing items. I have a big tub there in case I need to start getting me some mat board and get it cut in bigger pieces, and I'm planning on storing it in that. So there you go. Hi everyone. It's later on the 4th of April, and I wanted to come back and tell you the good news. I was able to get another prompt today. I pulled out I Am a Needlesmith because it's going to hit 2 prompts for me. One of them is in baseball week in my daily 30 group, and that prompt was to stitch on a project that had either plants or green grass. Well, this one has plants and it has green grass. So it certainly qualified for that. And I had to stitch 300 stitches in it to make that the top. I could do 2 or 3, but I wanted to do 3. It also is in my 24 hours of cross stitch. That is spur of moment, and the N in moment was for Needlesmith, and I am a needlesmith. So I stitched today and got 384 stitches before I stopped. So let me show you what that did. Here is the piece in total so far, and the little spinning wheel in the grass and that bottom of that plant, that is the bottom of the piece. So that's the whole size of it right there. So this is not a really big by the bay. But what I worked on today, I'm going to fold it where I can hold it easier to show it to you. I worked on the ecru stripe in this dress. I knew it could give me stitches quick and easy, just straight stitch, no, well, they're cross stitches, but I didn't have any confetti, I didn't have to change colors, and I didn't have to read the pattern. I just knew that that stripe had to be that color. And so here you have it. I started on this side of the dress, and I stitched to the middle, toward the middle, and I did 6 columns of those stitches, and there's my hanging thread ready for the next one. And so it's harder to see. It's almost the same color as the fabric, but I think you can see it there. And so this was my last column that I stitched, and next time I'll pick up over there. This will be great stitching for Zoom calls. This will be great stitching if I'm watching TV with my hubby, something like that, because I don't need to read the pattern. I don't need to change colors. That's wonderful. So I'll hold it for that, but I wanted to stitch on it because I could meet 2 prompts with it today, and did. So there you go, my second prompt of the day. Now I feel accomplished, and I think what I'm going to try to do is put up a video. I'll get it ready to go, and then depending on whether I can gift to my friend in time, I'll put that one in as well in the order in which I filmed it, and hopefully I can do that. But otherwise, I am going to get busy doing some more organization in my craft room. I have just allowed it to get quite untidy with projects, finishing projects. I've been working on some fun little craft ideas for a get-together that I'm having, and so I have things everywhere. So I want to just straighten that up. I've already straightened up my whips, but now I need to straighten out all the drawers in the storage cabinet that they're sitting on. And so that may be what I do today. We will see. But I'll keep you posted if there's any new storage technique or something that I come across, like the storing of the fabric so neatly, then I'll share it with you. But in the meantime, happy stitching.
Sit. Down. Okay, roll over. Roll over. She's thinking about it. Roll over. Okay, stay. Stay right there. There you go. Roll over. There you go.
Yay.
There you go.
She did it.
All right, now, it's funny when I tell her to do it, then she kind of gets half the motion. All right, sit. Down. Good girl. All right, roll over. Oh, what happened? Down. Good girl. Okay. Oh, you can't do it from that side. Roll over. She can't do it when she's on that side of her hip.
Just gotta have her leg the other way.
Come on, let's walk around. Up. All right, get back over here now. We're back. Back over here. Come on. Where are you? Okay, sit. Okay. Down. There you go. Roll over. Go ahead. Roll over. Roll over. Yeah. There you go. Roll over. Almost. Almost. Roll over. Oh no, it's the wrong side. Okay. That's a good girl. All right, try it again. Okay, sit. Last time. Down. Yes. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Lean the other way. Down. There you go. Lean those other. She keeps leaning on the wrong side. She can't roll over from the other side. All right, here we go. Good girl. Right down. Oh. You're funny. Okay, down. No. Start over here. You're funny. Okay. Okay, sit. Down. Down. There you go. There you go. Roll over. Hard, you can't do it from that side. We'll try it. Roll over. Okay, we'll try it again. Got the hips going the wrong way. All right, last chance. Last piece of turkey here. All right. Sit. Her hips going the wrong way already. Down. Go down. Oh, okay, come on. You went the wrong way. Down. Okay, go down. There you go. There you go. There you go. Roll over. There.
That was a good one.